You wake up one morning, and the sky is on fire. A deep rumble echoes beneath your feet, not from one volcano thus, but from all of them. Every mountain that once slept, every crater that seemed calm, awakens. At that moment, the earth itself begins to scream. This is the day every volcano on earth erupts, at once. What happens next is not just chaos, it's the end of the world as we know it. Volcanoes are Earth's pressure valves. They release the heat and molten rock trapped beneath our planet's crust. There are over 1,500 active volcanoes on land and thousands more hidden beneath the ocean. Normally, only a handful erupt each year. But what if, in a single horrifying instant, all of them did? Let's imagine the first seconds. The ground splits open across continents. Iceland, Indonesia, Japan, Hawaii, Italy, Alaska, Chile, glowing magma fountains rise to the sky. In the Pacific Ocean, underwater volcanoes explode with unimaginable force, turning the sea into boiling clouds of steam. Every mountain becomes a torch. The planet, a living inferno. The noise alone would be deafening. Billions of tons of rock and ash hurled into the air. Within minutes, global communication systems fail. Ash clouds block radio waves, satellites lose signal, and power grids collapse. Air travel halts instantly. Planes fall from the sky. It's not a world anymore. It's a storm of fire. Let's slow down. What exactly happens during a volcanic eruption? Inside Earth's crust lies molten rock, magma. When pressure builds, magma pushes its way to the surface. When it bursts through, it becomes lava. The release is violent, throwing gases like sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. These gases shape the climate, sometimes for years. Now imagine this happening not in one place, but everywhere. The combined force would eject over 10 trillion tons of ash and gas into the air. The planet's temperature would plummet. Sunlight would be blocked. The world would descend into darkness. This has happened before, though never all at once. 74,000 years ago, the Toba supervolcano in Indonesia erupted. It released over 2,800 cubic kilometers of material, enough to bury an entire continent under ash. Scientists believe it triggered a volcanic winter lasting nearly a decade. Humanity barely survived. Now multiply that event by 1,000. With every volcano erupting simultaneously, the planet would face a chain reaction unlike anything in history. Within hours, volcanic ash would begin to spread globally. Daylight would dim into twilight. Cities thousands of kilometers away would be buried under black snow, layers of soot and rock. Airports, highways, and entire power networks would vanish beneath ashfall. Lungs would fill with dust. Breathing would become agony. By day 2, the planet's temperature begins to collapse. Sulfur aerosols in the upper atmosphere reflect sunlight back into space. Global temperatures drop by 10, then 20 degrees Celsius. Crops freeze. Oceans cool. It's no longer summer anywhere. By the end of the first week, most of the world is covered in ash and smoke. The sun is gone. The moon glows faintly red behind a veil of dust. Rain turns acidic, corroding metal, poisoning water supplies, and killing forests. By the end of the first month, global starvation begins. Photosynthesis grinds to a halt. Without sunlight, plants die. Animals follow. Civilization, as advanced as it once seemed, collapses under its own fragility. But what about the oceans? The undersea volcanoes, thousands of them, boil the surrounding water. Massive plumes of steam rise, condense, and fall as violent storms. Tsunamis sweep across coastlines. Entire islands disappear beneath waves of molten debris. The heat trapped in the oceans begins to escape into the atmosphere, creating chaotic temperature swings, boiling heat near eruptions, freezing cold under the ash clouds. Earth's climate system, once delicate and balanced, is torn apart. If we zoom out to the scale of planets, Earth would start to resemble Io, one of Jupiter's moons. A world covered in volcanoes, glowing rivers of lava streaking across its surface. An unstable, restless sphere of fire and stone. But unlike Io, Earth is alive, or at least it was. Life as we know it cannot withstand such a transformation. Ecosystems collapse. The food chain disintegrates. The air becomes unbreathable. In time, months, maybe years, the volcanic ash settles. But the damage is irreversible. The oceans have turned acidic. The skies remain dim. Billions are gone. The survivors live beneath the ground or in shelters, rationing food and filtered air. Humanity enters a new kind of ice age, a world without sunlight. Let's consider the long term. After years of darkness, the ash begins to thin. The sunlight slowly returns, but the world that reemerges is alien. Cities are buried, forests gone. New mountains of lava reshape continents. Rain returns, heavy and constant, washing away the last traces of civilization. Earth heals, but not for us. It's a reset, just as the planet has done before after the great extinctions, after the Permian, after the dinosaurs, after the Ice Age. The Earth burns, freezes, and begins again. Scientists know this. Volcanoes are part of Earth's natural rhythm. They create land, build atmosphere, and feed the soil. But they also remind us how fragile our world truly is, how thin the line is between balance and catastrophe. Every volcano that sleeps today holds the memory of fire. And if that someday they all awaken at once, the Earth would not end in silence, but in the roar of its own creation. So, what would humanity do if it ever saw the signs? Could we stop it? Could we survive a planet reborn in fire? Or would this be the day the Earth starts over, without us? What if? The next eruption has already begun.